Review time, Pot!
So if you saw Breaking Bullcrap episode 1, then you already know what the heck is going on in this next video. And if you saw Breaking Bullcrap episode 2, you will understand what's supposed to happen now. To counter the effect of exposing of the government will then send out its fake theories. I already knew this one was coming. They're saying a certain crisis actor from Sandy Hook is also in this attack, which is bullcrap. But let's go back to this.
So how will the U.S. military respond to the Paris attacks?
Listen to what he just said. So how will the U.S. military respond to the Paris attacks? Now, how does that make any sense? What the U.S. got to do with Paris?
ISIS?
I know they friends and all that, but what?
Let's get some thoughts from Fox News military analyst, retired General Jack.
You should say, why will?
General,
we know why.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good to be here, bro.
Your thoughts on this? I mean,
remember that man?
We've been talking about the operations that have been underway, but does this change the dynamic considering these attacks?
Well, I think it does. I mean, the way I would approach this, if I was in that national security meeting that the president had today, I'd start with the premise that what actions would we take if this happened in the United States? And then go from there. And the reality is, we got to face up to who is ISIS and what are they really doing? And
you really want to do that?
The center of gravity from ISIS, Brett, from the beginning has been Syria. It is to Syria that gave them the base.
Boom, there you go. I told you that's what it's about.
So that they can conduct the invasion into Iraq. It is from Syria that they've expanded.
That's the key word right there.
Into 8 affiliates documented in writing, relationships with other countries, and it's from Syria that
all y'all doing them Facebook flags, you're supposed to support this. That's what they're doing that for.
They're hitting 20,000 media hits a day to inspire what we saw in France, French citizens to conduct attacks against their own people. For what purpose? To divide and polarize that community so they will undermine the support that the government is doing for the war. Understand that that's the premise. So you've got to go to Syria and start taking ISIS headquarters down in.
There you go. You've got to go to Syria.
All right. For the people who say that's exactly what ISIS wants.
Yeah, that's because you want ISIS to want that.
That's exactly what they want. They want
do that.
Us to come in to their den and then start this.
That's what they're getting paid to do.
This war.
Well, I don't believe they want that at all.
No, you're lying. They do want that.
The fact of the matter is, what makes ISIS different, and it is in modern history.
Different from what?
It's the most successful terrorist organization we've been dealing with. But why is
that's because you funded them?
That because they have a huge swath of territory they control. That is also their vulnerability. This is a physical military thing to take that territory away from them. They begin to go away when you take the territory away. Right now, 17 months after
look at that
Mosul,
not a mistake.
When they seized it, we're 17 months from that date. And they are convincing the world. They're standing up to the United States and a huge military coalition. In fact, it's considerably less than what the rhetoric would suggest. But it gives them a degree of invincibility. It gives them a sense that there's a destiny to what they're doing and an overall aura of success. We have got to take that away from them.
Is there a frustration inside the military about a lack of strategy?
Oh, absolutely. The military has
oh, no. Strategy sounds like
never been given the opportunity to truly conduct what we would do. Mission, degrade, defeat ISIS, build a...
This is what it's all about. Take the verses out.
Campaign plan with options to do that, and then put the risk together with those options, president make a decision. We have never been given that opportunity. What we've been told from the beginning is we're going to do something about ISIS, but there's going to be no boots on the ground. We're going to have a very limited air campaign because we're so worried about civilians. We're going to have rules of engagement that are beyond anything we've ever used in wars in the last 20+ years. The restrictions imposed on the military to...
So this attack is going to take away the restrictions. Do you see what's going on?
affect the campaign is why we have these results. 17 months later, this organization is largely succeeding. It's not being contained. It certainly isn't shrieking. And that kind of language we use is irresponsible,
and
frankly.
Quickly, is ISIS different in that you can't just chop off the head, that there are a lot of leadership structures? Is it different as an organization than we've seen before?
Well, they're not operating in cells as they did when they were growing in Iraq as Al-Qaeda too. So they are a much larger organization, and they have heads of those organizations much like a military organization does. But then there's the political side of ISIS, which expands into the other countries.
All right. So it's all bullcrap. So if anybody else don't understand this, at least you do.
Redsilverj, all I gotta say.